Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I can't believe I'm already saying this, but I'm starting my first week of semester 2 of vet school as of tomorrow. My break genuinely went by so fast, but I'm back in Melbourne and I'm ready to show you what a first week of vet school looks like. If you're interested in content like this, please subscribe. I'm here every single Sunday. Otherwise, come along. Alright, so that's Monday, completely done. Unfortunately, it's going to be a very boring start to my week. First year always has Monday completely empty of classes because they leave it for lectures. Mind you, I open up my laptop today and there is 6 hours of lectures for one subject.
You can't hurt me, I'm already dead.
Luckily, it is on the cardiovascular system, which I do find a bit interesting, but it was just really shocking to me that first day back, it's just 6 hours of lectures for one subject, go and do it. And of course, I have other subjects as well, such as metabolism, and I also have another animal production class, which I find really boring. So all up, there's definitely over 10 hours of lectures. So when they say set one day aside, you need to have more than one day usually. As of right now that I'm finishing, I only have about 3 more hours of lectures to do tomorrow, which is pretty good. Other than that, I can't lie, I did other things that were completely unrelated to vet school. I went to one of my friends' houses, made a little charcuterie board, and ended up staying there for a few hours and procrastinated doing some of my lectures. But other than that, it's a pretty boring day, and I think tomorrow is going to be pretty boring as well. But I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible because this is realistically what my first week is looking like. So at least people can get an idea of exactly the kind of workload that you get into in your first week. And then I'll probably film a follow-up vlog later in the semester when I actually have all of my classes running. Which, on that note, I will add that I do have a full vlog that documents my first week of vet school, and that was where I was really doing a lot of adjustment because I had obviously never done vet school before. So if you're interested in that, you can go check that out. Otherwise, let's go on to Tuesday. I've just gotten back home. I'm pretty much done for the day. But essentially, I woke up in the morning and I finished off the 3 hours of lectures that I hadn't done from yesterday. And I was completely triggered. They brought up the Krebs cycle. And how dare they? Nobody wants that kind of trauma from their prerequisite subjects. And it was actually really funny timing because I had just finished filming a video talking about prerequisites and saying how much I do not use the Krebs cycle now, which I stand by my point. You don't use it. They even told us you don't have to memorize it, but I still didn't like seeing it. After that, I had to pop onto a quick Zoom. I really hate doing Zooms because it reminds me too much of COVID.
I had a very traumatic childhood.
But it was just one of those boring 1-hour lectures where they go over the introduction of the subject and they tell you all of your exams and everything. So I finished off that, had some lunch, and then I started doing a bit of study. And especially for tomorrow, I've got a really full day completely to do with cardiovascular. As I was saying earlier, there was 6 hours of lectures I had to do this week for that subject, and they've told us that we need to know the content. So basically, I spent another hour after that trying to actually commit the content to my brain. And then another friend of mine messaged me and said, "Do you want to go get churros?" So then I ended up getting sidetracked for the rest of the day. So that's where I'm at right now. It's about 5 p.m. So let's go on to tomorrow, which will be more busy. Okay, so it's about 7 p.m. and I am officially done for the day. Definitely a bit of a longer day today. Luckily, it was only about a 10 a.m. start. So I got up in the morning, did some study. Again, I was doing some cardiovascular study because that was pretty much what all my day was about. And then I went straight to my dissection class, which I'm not allowed to film in.
No shit.
But we essentially had a few different hearts from a couple of different species, such as sheep and pigs. And we basically just got to go through them, see the anatomy, go through and see the valves, go through and see where all of the veins and arteries connect. It's always so much more helpful, at least for me, to be really hands-on and actually get to physically see it all rather than always seeing it in a diagram that might not always be right. But at the same time, it's always a bit of a humbling experience because, of course, I've only learnt this week, so I don't know it that well yet. So sometimes it's just you and 3 other vet students in your group just staring at the specimen like this and going, do you know what you're looking at?
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
But then we wrapped up for 1 p.m, went outside and had some lunch, and then an hour later we had to come back to do our ECG lab. Now that was where I had so much fun. We basically just had to go through all of these online modules, going through how to read an ECG, how exactly it's recorded. And the bit that I found the most cool was that they let every single small group go over and choose a volunteer to attach leads to themselves, and then that would project on the screen and we could view it. Now obviously I said absolutely I'm doing that. Thank God it looks normal. But yeah, it was really cool. Of course, my friend started being annoying and trying to see if they could get my heart rate up.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
They failed. And then we just finished the rest of our questions. And by the time we finished, it was about 5 p.m. After that, I was just done for the day. I don't usually do much else if I've had a full day of uni. I've got another full day of uni tomorrow. So let's go on to tomorrow. Okay, so technically when I'm filming this, it's no longer Thursday. However, I was at university from 9 to 5, woke up extra early so that I'd have some time to study in the morning because I knew I was going to have a really full day. Headed to class and I had my first cardiovascular case study. So basically I had to go in, meet a whole new group of people. I thought after my first semester, I knew most of the people in my course. But now that they've given us new groups and they've completely shuffled everyone around, I really don't know everyone. It kind of felt like my first day of semester 1 all over again, where I didn't know anyone. We had to do all of the reintroductions and then we just jumped into a case straight away. It was about a cow with muffled heart sounds and presenting with pain. I always find case studies so much harder when they make them on production animals like cows because I just don't know very much about them.
Cow.
And then I had to go back into the exact same classroom because I had another case study for my other subject, which is animal production systems. Now, I think I've said this in this video already, but I really hate this class. It is just so boring and the class is scheduled for 3 hours and it does not need to be 3 hours. There was some questions where we had to do maths and calculate which type of feed would be cheaper to feed cows. And then after that, I had to race back home because the vet society here was running an event. We went on a cruise and that is the reason why I'm not actually filming this on Thursday, but it was good. Got to spend a lot of time with all of my friends. Definitely try and go to any kind of society events that you have. It's a good way to not feel guilt because you know so many other people in your course are also going out. And yeah, they gave us dinner, some drinks, and it finished at about 11 p.m. and personally for me, I was done. I went home. A lot of other people did not, but I feel old at the ripe old age of 23. I don't know. But yeah, that was my Thursday. So let's go on to Friday. Okay, Friday is officially done. Now this is completely different to my usual weeks because normally I've got to travel about an hour outside of the city to go to a different campus and attend some classes there. But the first week back, we don't have to do that. So today was a pretty odd day in comparison. I woke up in the morning and did some study that I needed to do. And then after that, I was just bored and there was some kind of rare book event going on. So I just walked over there, came back and felt guilty. And especially because I normally have classes today, it felt like it was a Saturday, but it's not actually a Saturday. So I ended up doing just a little bit more study before the rest of the afternoon. Now, the reason I did that is because I knew I would end up going out tonight. I went out with a bunch of my vet school friends and we went to see one of those things where they do a live orchestra of the movie in front of you. It was brilliant. 10 out of 10, would recommend. But yeah, this is how I ended my first week of my second semester of vet school. As you can see, don't let anyone tell you that you cannot have a life if you go into vet school. I have done plenty of things this week. And of course, yes, this is my first week, so it is a lot less busy than it will be during exam periods. But that goes for literally any degree that you do ever. I just wanted to end saying that because so many people told me prior to starting vet school that I would never go out again in my life for the next 4 years. Other than that, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button. I will be posting more updated vlogs as I go throughout the semester, so stay tuned for that. If you like vet school content, I'm here every single Sunday at 9 AM. And if you want to see more frequent content, I am always uploading on Instagram at becomingdoctalia, so you can check me out over there. But other than that, that's it guys. Bye!